I've got an amazing trick for you to be able to save your leftovers without taking up space in your fridge or freezer. I think you already know that I'm going to be using my freeze dryer. I love this thing for so many reasons, but especially to be able to preserve my leftovers so that I have less food waste. Earlier this week, my husband smoked some pork shoulder, pork butts, whatever you want to call it, just the pack that you get at Costco. We smoke it on the Traeger and it is always so good. One of my favorite foods is anything barbecue smoked meats. That's what our family loves to eat, but we don't always finish it because we're just a family of 5, 2 adults, 3 kids. The kids don't eat that much. So we usually have lots of leftovers when we do our big smoking recipes in our Traeger. I wanted a solution to be able to save the leftover meat without just sticking it in the fridge or in the freezer. So my solution is to freeze dry it. I have freeze dried lots of meats before. They turn out great, and I use my freeze dried meat all the time in my weekly cooking of meals and stuff. So this is going to be another item that I'm going to love to have on my food pantry shelves that I can pull out to use whenever I need to. I'm going to get my freeze dryer set up and then get my meat onto the trays, and I will tell you how I prepared it to get ready for the freeze dryer. There are a few little things you need to do before just taking your leftovers and sticking them in. I'm hitting customize, reset. I just always stick with these standard settings, but I do increase my dry time to like 7 hours. And I hit save, start. We wait a 15-minute cool down process, and then we can get our trays loaded up. Let me show you how I'm gonna put them on the trays. One thing that your freeze dryer does not like is fat. Fat does not freeze dry and can make your food spoil faster than if the fat was gone. So to get rid of the excess fat on my pork, this had been sitting in the fridge for about a day after we ate it. And so as you know, when fat gets cold, it kind of just like makes it hard and stick together. So to help get rid of the fat, I put my shredded pork into a pan, cooked it down so that the fat would start to melt off, and once it seems like it was all kind of melted, I put it in a strainer, rinsed it really well under water to help wash the fat away. I felt like that was the best way to remove the excess fat from this pork, and it seemed to do really well. I also pulled off any just chunks of fat that I saw in the meat. This pork roast was pretty fatty, so there was a lot of fat that I pulled off, but I did the best that I could, and I think it is going to turn out great. Can I brag about our Alaskan weather lately? I don't usually get to brag about our weather, at least not this summer. We've had a very wet summer, but our fall has been so amazing. It has been so sunny and nice out, and I got to go on a super fun hike yesterday, and it's kind of a funny story how I ended up going on this hike, but it was a killer. I have some awesome pictures and some short video clips from the hike that I will stick at the end of the video. And after I get the meat in the trays, I'm going to tell you how I ended up going on this fun hike with some friends, but it was just so random. So I just got my pork onto my trays. Each tray can fit about 2.5 pounds of food, so I can give you kind of a guideline on how much you can stuff on here. I could probably fit a little bit more on here, but this was all the pork that I had left over. I put it on my silicone tray liners that I really like to use when freeze drying food and stuff. It just helps it not stick to the tray itself. I get these on Amazon. I can link them for you in the video description below if it's something you're looking for. We can get these loaded up now. Do you see how nice it is outside today? So I'm out here to show you that this mountain here behind our home is where I went on my hike yesterday. I think we went up on that loop, or maybe it was on top over there. I don't really know. But the funny way of how I ended up on this hike is my husband and I were just yesterday on a walk in our neighborhood just up our street, that hill that I've shown in my videos before where I like to walk. And we were kind of towards the top of the hill and some friends drove by and they were like, "Hey, Brooke, what's up?" And they're like, "Hey, we're going up to Hike Mile High. Do you want to come with us?" I was dressed in like sweats and my like slip-on not hiking shoes. Didn't have any water, but was like, heck yeah, I want to come. So got in the car with them. We drove up to the trailhead and went on the hike, and it was so fun. It was so hard. I had not done a hike like that in many years, probably. Okay, sorry, I had to move because the neighbor's dog was going crazy. But this hike was very steep and very high, and I was just worried in my slippery shoes I wasn't gonna make it. But you know how when you're with friends, they just motivate you to keep on going. And I did, and I was so proud of myself that we made it to the top. And it was so beautiful. The views were amazing. There were wild blueberries out everywhere that we stopped and were snacking on along the way. It was so fun. There are sometimes bears in that area. There was a sign at the top of the beginning of the trailhead that said a large brown bear had been spotted on September 20th up there. But it was like a week later and we were fine. My friend had her dog with her. We all have bear spray and all of that. We did not spot any bears. We were fine, but it was so awesome. And the weather was just perfection. It was cool, sunny, and so much fun. I am so glad I got out and did that. Do you guys like hiking? It's now motivating me to do more hikes. I do lots of like outdoor things with my kids, but that's more just like flat walks in the woods. We don't do too much treacherous things with the kids, but I think we need to start doing it because that was super fun. Great workout. My knees were so sore afterwards. My legs felt like jello, but worth it. So that's gonna bring me to Brooke's trivia corner question of the day. So Mount Denali is the tallest mountain in North America. Trivia question is about Mount Denali. How many hikers summit Mount Denali every year? Leave your guesses in the comments and I will let you know at the end of the video. Welcome back. It is the next day. I've got my pork ready to come out of the freeze dryer. Let's see how it's looking. This ended up running for about 26 hours, and when it is nice and dry, you feel it just feels very light, crispy. You can tell there is no more moisture in there, and it is ready to be packaged up. I'm going to package these in my Mylar bags. I'm hoping one tray will fit in one bag, so I will get 3 bags of pork. I'm going to use one tray to show you how I would use this in a recipe. I've got a delicious chili recipe that I'm going to use my freeze-dried pork in, and just show you how easy it is to cook with freeze-dried food. Chilies and soups are a great way to use up your freeze-dried food because it lets the just perfectly rehydrate all the way back to its natural state, and it's awesome. Here are our bags of pork. I've got 3 family-sized portions of pork here ready to go onto my food storage shelves. I've got my bag of pork that I am going to use for today's recipe that I'm going to show you later on in the video. I put oxygen absorbers in here. To know how many oxygen absorbers you need for your bag, you need to know the amount of like cc's that your absorbers are capable of absorbing versus the volume of your bag. So I can't say specifically how many you need. That's just going to be dependent on what you have. But I've got that there. You saw me heat seal it closed. These are going to go on my food storage shelves. This is going to go in the recipe. Turned out great. I want to remind you, I still have my cute magnet that I designed. My light is like reflecting in it. It says, "I'd freeze dry that." It's got my little name, DIY Freeze Dry. That's my favorite saying to use when I like see new foods or new candies. I'm like, I'd freeze dry that. I'd freeze dry that. So I thought it would be fun to make a cute little magnet. If you want one, I have a link in my video description below. You can purchase a magnet. It comes with some extra stickers and little goodies along with the magnet itself. It's super cute. I think so. If you're ready to start freeze drying yourself and you don't have a freeze dryer yet, Harvest Right is running a fall sale right now where freeze dryers are $300 off. You can check them out in my video description below. I've got a link to the Harvest Right website. It will take you there, you hit shop, and it'll show you what they're offering for freeze dryers right now. I think everybody needs one. I'm obsessed, if you can't tell, but sorry, my watch keeps dinging. Anyway, I think right now I will take you guys on my little Alaskan hike adventure that I had with some of my friends, show you the pretty pictures and my short little video clips that I took up there, and then we will get around to cooking up our pork chili recipe. It's gonna be so good. Hello from my kitchen. I am here ready to show you my Instant Pot pork chili recipe. A common question I get asked often is, how do you actually use the freeze-dried food in your weekly cooking of meals and such? So I'm going to show you one easy recipe that's quick and delicious that uses your freeze-dried food. I'm first adding some bone broth. I'm going to add like probably this whole carton actually. Next, I'm going to toss in my freeze-dried pork. Let that start getting incorporated with the bone broth. And next, I'm going to put in a can of lentils and a can of cannellini beans. I'm going to rinse these first and then get them in. I'm not going to add some onion, but I want to chop it up really fine in my food chopper just because I have picky kids who don't like big chunks of veggies or oniony, stuff like that. So I'm gonna blend it up in here and then put it in. This little chopper gets it so nice and fine without me having to like sit there and chop it with a knife. Next, I am adding a can of mild green chilies. I am also gonna chop this up in my food chopper so we avoid the chunkage. Okay, that was a terrible word. It actually looks like it would make a really good salsa, but this is gonna go in. I've got some more freeze-dried ingredients to go in here. This is freeze-dried onion powder, freeze-dried garlic powder, and freeze-dried chili powder. I'm gonna add some of this into our chili. And there you have it. It is looking so good. I did add about another cup and a half of water to this just so that it would be more liquidy. I am now going to just cook it on the beans and chili setting on my Instant Pot, which my Instant Pot is a crock pot version. It is not the Instant Pot brand. Does the same thing. If you are in the market for an Instant Pot, I will link one in the video description below. I highly recommend. Love it. I've had this thing for a couple years now and it's still working great. All right, I got my Instant Pot ready to go in 25 minutes. This will be a delicious pork chili for us to eat for dinner tonight. I am also, after it's done cooking, gonna add some heavy cream to it and sour cream to, you know, make it creamy and delicious. I will catch you guys once it's finished and let you know how it tastes. It is all finished. I am getting this sun glare through my side window, so don't mind that. I'm just gonna pour in like a half cup or so of heavy cream, and then we are gonna get this served up and see how it is. It smells so good. Okay, we are here for our chili dinner. I topped it with shredded cheese, sour cream, and guacamole. We're gonna give it a taste. It's hot. I think it tastes super good. The pork tastes perfectly fresh and delicious. I love it. What do you think?
It's awesome. I love it.
A+. We got some new Halloween items added to the house decor. I was hoping they would show up good on the other side of the window so you could see it from outside, but they don't show up too well out there. But they're still fun. They're just like $1 at Walmart. So if you want to spook up your house, check those out. Sorry I'm over here in the dark. It is the next morning because I didn't finish my video last night. But the answer to Brooke's Trivia Corner question, how many summit Denali every year? It said like 2 years ago, 1,200 people attempted to summit and 60% on average make it to the top. And the first people on top of Mount Denali was in 1913. 4 people made it to the top, which is crazy. I cannot imagine doing that in 1913 without all the fancy gear that climbers have nowadays. So that was pretty cool. But thank you all for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you want to see all the things that I do over here, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. Let me know if you have any questions about anything, and I will catch you guys on the next freeze drying adventure. Bye.